Cheat a little bit. Kendall's given me a great introduction, but I have a video that kind of shows a lot of the stuff that I've done. I worked for a TV show in New Zealand, and over that 6 years, obviously generated quite a lot of footage of some of the adventures that I went on. So this is a little video just to show some of the things that I've done in my time. The TV show was called Attitude. Okay, we don't have sound. Good start, eh? Maybe if I take that out, that might help. Here we go. Yay!
Travel the globe and been to some amazing places.
Sri Lanka, Japan,
Good luck, mate.
How to lower music.
Ben, that's the favourite.
The one he prayed to Buddha so that he can help him to walk like that. Very good. Nothing to say here? I've met some great people along the way. Did you? Was it fun?
Yeah, but I got something new.
Because it's so tiny, so they kindly come here to see me. Hello. This young boy has got an intellectual disability. He barely leaves his house. Like the t-shirt. T-shirt's good.
You can sleep here. Have you noticed people still sleep here? All back here.
I've had no formal training as a journalist. You know, I came into this as a sports job. Will Black's my family. They've been a huge part of my life since 1996. I want to be the man. I want to be the star of the team. I don't think I probably have those same goals if I wasn't in the chair. You know, I'd still want to be the captain of my side or the best player in the world at rugby league or whatever I did. I definitely look at the world a lot differently now. I guess it's made me want to advocate, you know, and stand up for people who don't have the strength or don't have the energy to do it. For some people's favourite story, some good results.
So apart from a little bit of hair and a strange accent, I'm still the same person, and I've been in a wheelchair now for nearly 21 years, and in that 21 years I'm happy to say that I've lived a very fulfilling, satisfying and amazing life, and have still so much more to look forward to. Now I haven't always been on a wheelchair. I say on a wheelchair because I'm not in a wheelchair. I'm not confined to it. I'm not bound to it. I don't sleep in it. I can get out of it, and I can, you know, it doesn't define who I am. It's just a mode of transport for me. And that was the attitude that I had when I was 15 years old, when I had a life-changing event that we'll talk about a little bit more into my speech here. I grew up in New Zealand, as you can probably tell from the strange, bastardised Australian Kiwi accents. I can't win wherever I go. If I'm in New Zealand, I get accused of being an Aussie. If I'm in Australia, I get accused of being a Kiwi. So I kind of mishmash it up, or mushmash it up a little bit. Just depends on who I'm speaking with. Yeah, so I grew up in a country, New Zealand, and in 1987 my family decided to move to Australia, and we lived in a little town in western New South Wales called Orange. And that was a great little place. Mum and Dad arrived on the Friday, pretty much had jobs by the Monday. I went to school, and my sister, she was very young at the time. And the transition for me wasn't that hard. You know, moving to a new country, it was pretty easy. Being young, I think that really helped. As time progressed, I became very popular. I was just a regular kid. You know, back in those days, in the late 80s, early 90s, I didn't have computer games to play with, so my passion was sport. I played sport, and my favourite sport in the whole world was rugby league. There's nothing more in the world that I enjoyed most, more than rugby league. That was my thing. If I wasn't playing it, I was watching it, or training, or kicking the ball out the backyard with my dad, or playing touch footy at lunchtime at school. You know, it was something that I loved to do more than anything. And it was quite fortunate that I found a passion like that, because it actually got me through some really tough times. Not only when I was a teenager, but much older in life as well. Orange was a good place to grow up. It was a small country town. The thing about small country towns is that when small changes occur, the whole town knows about it. My dad used to work in Sydney, and he was making good money being a concreter. And so for my birthday, he brought home a brand new BMX bike, one of those freestyle bikes that you could do tricks on. And that was really cool, because I used to ride my bike everywhere. It was my form of transport. And all of a sudden, I started getting all these new friends coming into my life. And I felt really popular. The thing about these new friends were, these guys were guys from the wrong side of the tracks, if you like to say, you know, the other side of town. And that too was kind of a little bit exciting as well. Wow, these rough guys are coming into my life. They think I'm pretty cool. Started hanging out with them, but Dad had one rule: no one is allowed to ride your bike, only you. So I stuck to that rule. And so as much as they wanted to ride my bike and test it out and show me tricks and stuff like that, I didn't let them ride my bike. Anyway, one day we were working as a family at our local garden centre, as we did on the weekends to earn a bit of extra money. It was a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon, and out of the corner of my eye I saw a bunch of guys on their bikes riding up the road. And I popped my head out as they rode past and realised that it was my new friends. They were going on a bike ride. I was like, damn. Working at the garden centre didn't seem like so much fun anymore. I wanted to be riding with my new friends and learning new tricks and going on adventures and stuff like that. Anyway, I forgot about it, and we finished the day at the garden centre, and upon pulling up into our driveway, there was a bit of a commotion, and the neighbours came running out, and they'd said that someone had just broken into your house and two boys had run off with your bike. I was like, oh no. They just started describing who these young boys were, and I realised that it's my new friends. Asked the neighbours for a pen and paper to write a note. They ran around to the back door, poked the key out of the lock onto the paper on the ground, pulled the paper out, unlocked the door, and walked off with my bike, or ran off with my bike, with the neighbours watching them the whole time. Being a small town, it wasn't that hard to find them, and they were down at the local basketball courts having a smoke and showing off their new purchase. their five-finger purchase. And so Dad and I constructed a bit of a plan. It was like we were about to go into battle. You go this way, and I'll go that way. And so at that time, I had to put on my big boy's pants. You know, I was 13 years old, and these guys were much older than me. You know, 15, 17 years old, and they were bad guys. You know, they were the badasses of the town. And so Dad was all full of gusto. Right, you go this way, and then they'll go that way, and you grab them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he went around one side of the building and clobbered a couple of them, grabbed my bike and managed to grab another kid's bike. They scarpered that way, and I'm around the other side of the building not knowing what was going on. All of a sudden I've got 4 guys racing at me, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. So I just grabbed one of them and started throwing a few punches. We had a bit of a scuffle, and I'm like, oh, what do I do now? So I just grabbed him and started dragging him to my dad because he'd know what to do. And as I was doing that, he was obviously objecting to that fact, and his friends started coming over, and all of a sudden I thought, I've got to get out of here, so I let him go and came back around to Dad, and he was loading the 2 bikes into the car. So we went home, and there was a phone call from the police, as we were expecting, saying, we understand that you've got a bike in your possession. We'd like you to come down to the police station. It's been reported stolen. So, okay, we went down to the police station, and as I walked into the police station with my dad, there was 4 of these idiots who had just stolen my bike and we'd had a fight with, wanting their bike back. And so I told the police, well, actually, these guys have just broken into my house and stolen my bike, and told them the whole story. We went away. They ended up finding the 2 guys that actually stole my bike in a car park next to the police station, and they spent the night in the cells. They got a 2-year good behaviour bond,